is something that Ross Hodge and the Mountaineers need tonight.
Tip-off and we are underway. Eagle staff had the game-winning three-pointer in the two-point West Virginia win against Cincinnati in Morgantown on January 10th. As West Virginia starts on defense in the gold uniforms. Cincinnati, all black uniforms tonight as Jizzle James, a floater in the lane to get things started for the Bearcats.
And that's a good sign. He's only averaging 8 points in the last 4, but if he can take his time and get into the paint off the pick and roll, really good sign for Cincinnati.
West Virginia led by Eagle staff and Honor Huff in the backcourt. Huff will chuck threes, King, from pretty much anywhere on the floor. He's 5th in the nation in three-pointers made this year.
Cincinnati learned that the hard way last game. I mean, Honor Huff towards the end of that game really took it over, had the N1 3 that completely busted the game open. So they have to do a good job of limiting his touches and making everything tough.
He had 24 points and 6 threes in the win against Cincinnati in Morgantown. Missed 3 in the corner there by Jasper Floyd, and a rebound for the Bearcats. Here comes Baba Miller. Jizzle James and Jalen Celestine in the backcourt. Tyler McKinley getting his 2nd start of the season. Got the offensive rebound as Day Thomas misses the 3. Cincinnati, King, takes a ton of threes, but the problem has been this year they don't make them very consistently. Just a 30% three-point shooting team, I should say, on the year. Jasper Floyd backing his way in, has a little bit of a height mismatch against Day Thomas and taking advantage.
And that's what they need from him. They need him to score the ball more and take the open ones.
Jizzle James, Day Thomas, an experienced backcourt, although Jizzle missed the majority of the first 2/3 of this season due to personal reasons. Rejoined the team about a month ago. Baba Miller, awkward shot off the right foot, nothing but net.
And we talk about his unique ability. I mean, we see it right there. One dribble from the three-point line, and the touch around the rim is so high level.
Averaging a double-double on the year as Eagle staff misses the 3 short and goes out of bounds. You mentioned the loss against Houston. He only had 2 points on 1 of 8 shooting. That was a very off night for him, and a lot of it had to do with the fact that Mustafa Cham, who's out again tonight, was injured just 11 minutes into that game.
So it puts a lot more responsibility on him, being that lone front court guy that plays majority of the minutes. But his passing ability is something that I've been extremely impressed with as we see the cross court play right there.
And Celestine just rips it away from Eagle staff. Now Jizzle James will try a 3. That one slips in.
And that's an area in which he really hasn't done great. I mean, he hasn't shot the ball well as of recent, but 5 points early on. I know Wes Miller's loving that.
He had 17 points in the win against Baylor. That was a season high for him, but just 5 points in the most recent game, a loss to Houston. West Virginia goes inside, and before the shot, a traveling violation, and the first turnover of the night on a Harlan Obioha walk.
And let's take a look at this right here. That was just a great play by Celestine to come up with the basketball off the defensive rebound, and good find. Getting the ball to Jizzle James in rhythm.
Well, Wes Miller, we talked to him earlier today. I asked him with all the injuries, how do you win tonight's game? He said, you know what, frankly, we got to gut it out. It's a mentality. We got to fight. And that Jalen Celestine rip off the offensive glass, that's something that Wes Miller wants to see.
You know, Celestine is known as just a shooter, but I mean, that's something that also that Wes Miller talked to us about. And so the Celestine was more than just a shooter. I mean, he can put the ball on the floor, he can make plays, and they need him to do things like what we just saw.
Set up the three-pointer for James, who has it again. Jizzle James, perfect from the floor to start this game. 3 for 3, 7 points.
And he's feeling it. And he's getting comfortable, especially in that pick and roll. We see another bucket, just taking his time, surveying what the defense is giving him, and just be able to stop and pop.
Cincinnati has had recent success here at home. They've beat Colorado, Iowa State, and Baylor all at Fifth Third Arena. 7 on the shot clock now. Amir Jenkins missing the layup. Good rebound for Celestine. Now in transition, Baba Miller makes it an 11-2 ball game and a 9-0 run for the Bearcats.
He asked Wes Miller today, what did you take away from that? And that was his message. We have to finish games. I mean, we're right there, but we have to learn how to finish games. And he said that he's seen growth in certain times of the season, but they have to be more consistent in that area.
Miller sends Honor Huff packing, and Miller gets fouled in transition. No bucket, as Honor Huff was chasing him from behind. Usually the guards like the mismatches against the big guys. Not in that situation, King.
Look at this. I mean, he can switch 1 through 5 and really stay in front. And that length, Honor Huff has to know. You're not going to be able to get that over a 7-footer unless you create a little bit more space.
Miller, this time working against Jasper Floyd. Good cross-court pass, and Jizzle James just cannot miss. He started this game 4 for 4. He's got 10 points.
And that all started with Bob Miller's ability to be able to locate while being in the post. I mean, he saw Jizzle James open and threw a left-hand dime. That's extremely high level.
3-minute scoring drought for West Virginia. Five on the shot clock. Miller again accosting Huff. Jenkins looks up at the clock. 2 to shoot. Off balance 3. Miller the rebound. West Virginia 14-8 on the year, coming off a loss against Baylor in their last time out. Tipped out of bounds. UC will stay with it. Ross Hodge in his first season with West Virginia. And right now the defense for the Mountaineers is scrambling.
We're seeing a few open looks. I mean, this is a West Virginia team that's great defensively, and they're always connected, but this first 5 minutes of the ball game, you haven't seen the best version of who they really are.
Ross Hodge coming over after 2 years at North Texas. Taking over a program, they lost 100% of their scoring from last year. Just one of 5 teams in Power Conference basketball that lost the entirety of their scoring from a year ago. A complete rebuild in the first year for Ross Hodge, as Bob Miller trying to go to the corner with that pass. It hit the rim, and a turnover on the Bearcats. Alvin Zalat and Kerr Kriisa checking into the game for Cincinnati, and it was Kerr Kriisa drawing the foul. An offensive charge called against Chance Moore.
And that's great defense right there by Kriisa. I mean, Kriisa knows that Moore is not a shooter. He is a driver. So he plays off a little bit, backs up, and on the drive, he beats him to the spot. Great defense right there by Kriisa.
Long college career for Kerr Kriisa. Played at Arizona, West Virginia, and Kentucky. Miller the free throw line, finds Kriisa with 8 to shoot. Cincinnati having lost 3 of their last 4 games, but they've won 3 in a row here at home. That's the first miss of the game for Jizzle James, and a tie-up underneath. A foul against Cincinnati is on Halvin Zoa. Zella getting a earful from Wes Miller, who's in his 5th year with the Bearcats. An 11-11 record this year, 3-6 in conference play. Their one big win coming just a couple weeks ago against Iowa State.
Right now, this is the time Eagle staff has to start asserting himself into this ball game and being more aggressive.
He's got the ball in the post, backing down Kerr Kriisa, and he pushed off. Used that shoulder and the elbow into the midsection of Kerr Kriisa, and a turnover.
We have to take another look at that one, because I'm not 100% sure if I saw that. Let's take a look. That left arm, just a little extension. Just a little extension. I don't know if I fully agree with it, but nonetheless, they called it, and now as a basketball player, you have to adjust to the way that they're calling the game.
Very seasoned refereeing crew here tonight. Doug Sermons, Jeffrey Anderson, and Roger Ayers. I don't know if you'll find a more experienced trio in the country. Sincere Harris at the elbow. The lefty missing off the front of the iron after he checked into the game off the bench for the first time. Missed the last 2 games due to a flu. He's one of the best on-ball defenders in the conference. Cincinnati happy to have him back as Trayson Eaglestaff comes up short. Obioha got the offensive rebound, and he'll shoot 2.
That's where Obioha is at his best. I mean, his pursuit of the basketball when the shot goes up, especially at his size, makes it extremely hard to block out and keep him off of the glass. They need more of that, and that's how you slowly start to take down some of this lead.
Alvin Zella picked up his second foul. And I don't think I didn't hear you. That was Obioha, very nice.
Obioha. I have learned the proper pronunciation.
You've been working
Obioha.
on it. Coming up tonight, 9 Eastern over on ESPN, a top 5 matchup in women's college basketball. Flau'jae Johnson and 5th-ranked LSU take on Madison Booker and number 4 Texas in Austin. The game is also available on the ESPN app. West Virginia, absolutely no offense to speak of. King, they are 1 of 7 to start this game.
They have to find ways to get their scores going. I mean, I like what they're doing without a Huff, allowing him to be the primary ball handler and not play off ball, because a lot of teams have been face guarding them and make it extremely tough. So start with the ball in his hands and let him be able to create. That's why his assist numbers have gone up in the last few games.
These two teams are both top 5 scoring defenses in the conference, but they are the worst 2 scoring offenses in the conference. Jizzle James drew a triple team. Somebody was open. It was Sincere Harris, but he stepped out of bounds. Second turnover on Cincinnati. West Virginia, the 16th ranked scoring offense in the conference, 71 points per game. Cincinnati, the 15th ranked scoring offense in the Big 12, 71.5 points per game. 12.5 minutes to go here at Fifth Third Arena, the opening half between the Mountaineers and the Bearcats. Eric Rothman, King McClure with you as Jasper Floyd spins into the lane and ends a 6-minute field goal-less drought for West Virginia.
And he's only averaging 2 points per game in the last 3. And one thing Ross Hodge said is we need Jasper Floyd to score the ball more. He has to in order for us to have success.
Came over with Coach Hodge from North Texas. Here's the southpaw, Jalen Celestine, missing the 3, batted out by McKinley, tracked down by the Mountaineers. Good seal by Obioha, draws a whistle. Underneath, it's on Tyler McKinley and takes us.
Has started this game off extremely hot. It all started with the floater, and then once he sees one go in, you can be in for a very, very long night. 8 points in the first matchup. Today he's already gotten 10. And they need all of his scoring because offense can sometimes come at a premium with this Bearcat team.
No doubt about it, especially Mustafa Cham and Sean Abayev both out of the lineup tonight for Cincinnati. Jizzle missed the first 2 months of the season, stepped away from the team due to personal reasons. We talked to Wes Miller earlier today. He was just talking about how proud he is of Jizzle James, working on himself, fighting through the demons, as he called it, and really, instead of running away from the team like he said a lot of guys do these days, Jizzle was really intent on making amends and becoming a better person, and he's rejoined this team. Sounds like not only he's become a better person because of it, but obviously the team is better having him on the floor.
Yeah, you definitely gain a lot of respect for a guy like that doesn't run away from it and owns up to it.
Jalen Celestine in the corner.
That right there, just a great drive by Day Thomas, getting in the paint and finding the shooter. Right now, West Virginia on the defensive side has not been connected.
Cincinnati 3 for 6 from three-point range. Celestine coming off a season-high 15 points against Houston. Easy steal for Sincere Harris. Couldn't finish with the left hand. It's a fast break missed opportunity for the Bearcats. And back-to-back turnovers on the Mountaineers.
Let's go back to this Celestine 3. You never want to help same side corner, and the reason why? It's because that's an easy pass to make and typically ends up in a bucket.
Cincinnati 3 of 6 from 3. West Virginia 0 for 6. They've now turned the ball over 5 times. You mentioned it, just disconnected on the offensive end. Creesa now handling the point guard duties for Cincinnati. Wes Miller likes the different looks that he can give in the backcourt between Day Thomas, Jizzle James, and Creesa. Difficult for teams to match up with those three as Day Thomas lost it going up, got it back, 4 to shoot on the baseline. Little floater, too strong, missed everything. But Cincinnati bailed out underneath as Halvin Zella went up for the rebound and he was pushed with just 1 second on the shot clock.
Let's take a look at this right here. Yeah, that's definitely a foul. You have to do your work earlier than that to not allow him to even be able to get his hands on the basketball.
I called it on Brennan Lorient, his first. It's another long drought for West Virginia on the offensive side of things as we've hit the midway point of the first half. Great backdoor cut. Zella finds Sincere Harris for the lay-in.
That's just a great backdoor cut right there by Harris. And right now, this is the time where your guys have to step up. Eaglestaff and Huff have to look to be aggressive.
Eaglestaff and Huff both scoreless so far. They go up top. DJ Thomas hits the front iron and off on that three-point attempt. Now West Virginia 0 for 7 from long range. Creesa fires away. West Virginia 1 for their last 8 from the floor. Their 2 leading scorers have yet to score a point. And a tie-up underneath the held ball. Possession arrow in favor of West Virginia, but plays like that. We saw it earlier in the game, Celestine ripping the ball away on the offensive glass, 50-50 ball right there. It just seems like Cincinnati's outworking West Virginia.
I mean, offensively and defensively, Cincinnati's been on point.
Three and a half minute scoring drought for West Virginia. They had a 6-minute drought without a field goal earlier in the half. Down by 13. Thomas, couple head fakes. Zella wasn't going anywhere. Now Lorient, little baby hook in the lane.
And that's a great drive right there. I mean, Lorient's offensive game has really grown, averaging 15 in the last 2. I mean, he's such a versatile piece for this Mountaineer squad.
Keyshawn Tillery, the pass in the near corner. Tillery, a standout freshman in his first minutes of the game. Wes Miller very high on his potential. Said he's going to be not a good college basketball player, a great college basketball player. He finds Celestine in the corner, 2 to shoot. Back to Tillery, lets it fly. Beat the buzzer, but a bad shot.
And that's the best defensive possession that we've seen from West Virginia. I mean, they're flying around, they're locating shooters. That time they're connected. And right there, good pass by Honor Huff. I mean, you've seen his passing ability grow in these past few games, and that's why I think this offense can go to a different level. When Honor Huff can start being a better facilitator and not just rely on his jumper, he takes the offense to a different level.
A loose ball after the Celestine miss. Day Thomas picks it up and finishes. The Huff assist was to Jasper Floyd King, who now has 6 of West Virginia's 10 points. And again, Huff, even though he didn't get the assist there, is still scoreless, as well as Eaglestaff, who's on the bench, their 2 leading scorers. West Virginia shot just 36% in their last game, a loss to Baylor. Not much better here tonight, 33% to start the game. And a missed dunk, but a whistle, as Zella called for the foul. It's going to be the 3rd foul on Halvin Zella.
Cincinnati offense just winning the 50-50 ball battle. And Day Thomas getting the easy float.
When Huff doesn't have the ball, they're face guarding him. They're making it tougher for him to touch the ball throughout the course of the game, get his opportunities. And so plays like that where he can facilitate and make defenses play him more honestly, that's going to open up shots down the lane.
You know, Eric, it's almost like that Steph Curry effect. I mean, anytime Honor Huff is running off pin downs, there's always going to be two on the basketball because he demands that level of respect because he's that good of a three-point shooter. So when there's two on a basketball, if you just learn how to get rid of it, you can either get the hockey assist or you can get your big rolling and be able to set your teammates up for success. But that's where he's grown, and the big reason of why he's grown so much is because of guys like Phil Forte watching film with him and trying to teach him when to get rid of the basketball and what plays and what reads to make.
I have to keep an eye on the front court for Cincinnati. They're already without Mustafa Cham due to injury, and now Halvin Zella is on the bench with 3 fouls. So a smaller lineup on the floor for the Bearcats with Celestine, Thomas, Tillery, and Jizzle James, all 4 guards on the floor along with Baba Miller. Tillery, oh, they left him alone. Miller doing everything he can to get the offensive rebound, and he draws a whistle. It's against West Virginia, the big man Harlan Obioha, his first.
And Ross Hodge is not happy. I mean, we see in the last 3 minutes they've given up 2 offensive rebounds. They've gotten those stops, but you haven't been able to secure the possession because you haven't been able to block out, and you're giving Cincinnati multiple opportunities to score.
Cincinnati 5 offensive rebounds to West Virginia's 1. Under 7 minutes to play here in the opening half. Cincinnati on top 21-12. Eric Rothman, King McClure with you at Fifth Third Arena as Day Thomas shimmy shake and a finish from the elbow.
And that's where I think he specializes. I think this year he settled for a lot of threes and he's become a better shooter. But when he gets to his mid-range, I think he's elite.
Averages 11 points per game on the season, but his last 4 games he's really struggled. 4 points per game in the last 4, shooting just 17% from the floor in that stretch. He's got 4 already in this one. Chance Moore off balance as he was fading towards the near corner. Celestine, transition, hesitation, high off the glass, no whistle. Transition opportunity now for the Mountaineers. Huff, great feed inside and another assist from Honor Huff. This time he finds Brennan Lorient.
And why was that wide open? Because 2 went to him because they were afraid in transition that he was going to pull up for that 3. So he makes the right decision once again.
Still no points for Huff, but it's his 2nd assist. Jizzle James, same corner elbow that Day Thomas just hit from. As Jizzle James misses that bucket, he does have 10 points to lead all scorers. Lorient lost the dribble on the floor, fighting for it. Possession arrow in favor of West Virginia with 5:18 to play in the half. Saturday night over on ESPN, it's a men's basketball. Any win in the Big 12 is a good win. Cincinnati King having to go 4 out with this small lineup. Baba Miller, baseline, that's too easy.
And when Miller gets the ball, because of his athleticism and his size, that backside defender has to load up a little bit earlier. He has to be there sooner to alleviate that easy 2-point shot.
6 points and a pair of rebounds for Miller. Another turnover for West Virginia, their 7th. Krisa short on the pull-up 3. 4.5 minutes to go in the half. Offensive foul. Krisa sold it as Chance Moore lowered the shoulder and got called for the charge.
And let's take a look at this last Baba Miller bucket because you see Jasper Floyd. He has to step up a little bit sooner. He has to get both feet outside the paint because if you're inside the paint with Baba Miller's size, he's just going to finish that right over you. And that's, once again, another great play by Kirk Krisa. And as soon as he takes the charge, he points to his head and says, basically alludes to him having high IQ because he knows that Chance Moore is a driver and he knows what Moore wants to do. That's good scouting report execution right there.
Kreese has been in college long enough, he could have a doctorate at this point.
So he better have high IQ, huh?
Baba Miller face up, ISO, dribble, drive, finish. He's got 8, and a timeout taken by West Virginia. Cincinnati running over the Mountaineers. Well, that's a good question, King. Did you get any good words you're trying to slip into the broadcast today?
Yeah.
Big 12, and you've got Arizona coming up this weekend in a game that maybe has some upset potential written on it.
I mean, Oak State played well. Anthony Roy is one of the best. Oh, man.
Baba Miller the block as DJ Thomas finishes.
Anthony Roy is one of the best scorers in all of the Big 12, and he showed it the other night against BYU, but that's a massive bucket right there that West Virginia really needed by DJ Thomas.
Jizzle James looks off the defense. Nobody in front of him, but he misses the finger roll with the left hand. 3.5 minutes to go. Cincinnati on top, 11 points here at home in the opening half. Connor Huff inside, his 3rd assist. Brennan Lorient, the slam.
And that's just good patience right there. I mean, driving that closeout and you're keeping the defender on your back. We call it putting them in jail. And then you just make the right decision once again when the big steps up.
Thomas in the kick out. Far corner for Jizzle James. That 3-ball rattles out. James, who hit his first 4 shots of the night, has missed his last 4 now, and Cincinnati just 3 for 11 from long range. Eaglestaff finds Lorient. A whistle and a bucket. And so the leading scorers for West Virginia in Huff and Eaglestaff, they haven't scored a bucket, and yet they facilitated the back-to-back assists from Huff and Eaglestaff to Brennan Lorient.
Because of their scoring, it opens up everything else for the rest of the guys on the floor. Teams get overly concerned because Eaglestaff and Huff have the ability to be able to put the ball in the hole at an elite level. So now when they drive, teams pay extra attention to them. And if they can just make the right decision, they make the game extremely easy. Nothing complicated about what they're doing. They're just getting rid of the basketball when the defense steps up.
Alvin Zella back into the game for Cincinnati with his 3 fouls. As well as Sincere Harris, who was fouled from behind. Eaglestaff the reach in.
This is a West Virginia team, Eric, that is extremely tough. They're not going anywhere. Even though Cincinnati had an early lead, don't expect this West Virginia team to lay down. They are going to fight this whole 40 minutes because they take on the mentality of their coach, and Ross Hodge, and that's his MO. That's what he's known for.
We saw it in the first matchup between these two teams. Early January, West Virginia was trailing by 5 with a little over 4.5 minutes left to go at home, and they finished that game on a 10-0 run to beat Cincinnati 62-60. And again, listen, you know, it's the first year for Ross Hodge. He was kind of hired a little later in the hiring cycle by West Virginia. Didn't get a chance to have a real full recruiting season, and so he brought a couple guys with him from North Texas, filled out the roster in the transfer portal. They had to replace 100% of the scoring from last year's team after Darren DeVries left for Indiana. So it's a little bit of a makeshift team in year number 1 for Ross Hodge, but he's done a darn good job.
He's done a tremendous job. I mean, being able to take his guys, a few of his guys with him from North Texas, and turn them into Big 12 starters. I mean, that just goes to show you, no matter the level, I mean, guys can hoop no matter what level they are. Mid-major, low major, you can compete at this level.
Jasper Floyd and Brennan Laureate, two leading scorers in this game for West Virginia. Both came from North Texas as Laureate had it stripped away. Sincere Harris the steal to Jizzle James. And it'll be basket interference as Zella knocked the rim on the offensive glass. Cincinnati has had a couple of opportunities. Last two possessions, King, just unable to convert in transition. Cincinnati led by as many as 13. They're up by 8 now with 1:40 to play here in half number 1. Laureate trapped on the baseline. Trying to spin his way out of it. Eaglestaff in the corner. All knocked up in the air. Obioha has it for the Mountaineers, and he's fouled. It's Mr. Energy for West Virginia is Harlan Obioha.
And once again, we see another offensive rebound by Obioha. I mean, with his size and with his pursuit of the basketball when the ball goes up, his toughness and his physicality, if you do not do your work early, you're going to be in trouble.
And that's the 4th foul on Halvin Zeller. Saturday on ABC, we have 2 NBA games this week, and they're both loaded with stars. At 3:30 Eastern, KD and the Rockets are in OKC to take on the Thunder. And then at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific, Luka, LeBron, and the Lakers play host to Steph and the Warriors. NBA Countdown tips off our coverage at 3 Eastern.
Man, I was hoping the Warriors could pull off that trade to get Giannis.
Giannis staying put, at least for now. We'll revisit it again in the offseason. 1:12 to play here in the opening half. West Virginia scored the first bucket of the game. Since then, it's been all Cincinnati. 7 on the shot clock for Jalen Celestine. Drops it off to Sincere Harris. Lost it out of bounds. The 4th turnover on the Bearcats.
And that's the West Virginia defense right there. That was a picture-perfect example of how Ross Hodge wants his team to defend. And it started with Honor Huff. I mean, the way he was chasing Kirk Kriisa off of those screens and not allowing him to get any type of separation, that right there is a picture-perfect example of West Virginia defense.
Cincinnati so far, their defense has forced 9 turnovers for West Virginia. Bearcats have turned it over now 4 times themselves, under a minute to play. Zubin Farney and Malcolm Huckabee in the studio for your halftime report coming up. On the shot clock, Jasper Floyd dancing with it, finds DJ Thomas, who misses the 3. West Virginia now 0 for 9 in the half from long range. And Honor Huff and Trayson Eaglestaff, the 2 leading scorers for West Virginia, scoreless here in the opening 20 minutes.
And right here, I'd play through Baba Miller.
Final 10 seconds, the big man has it. Miller to his left, off the glass and in. 10 points in the half for Baba Miller. And Cincinnati will go to the locker room up by 10 here at home. Miller first half earlier, and West Virginia 0 for 9 from 3. And go back to their last game, the second half against Baylor. They were 1 for 9 in that half in the loss to Baylor. And so now West Virginia 1 for their last 18 from 3.
And not a good decision right there by Jasper Floyd. I mean, this is a West Virginia team that wants to limit the possessions. So the higher turnovers that they have when they only want about 60 possessions a game, I mean, that's not a recipe for success.
10 turnovers already for West Virginia. Tyler McKinley to Jizzle James, 10 points in the first half for James, although he has missed his last 6 from the floor after making his first 4. Honor Huff, now he's hunting for a shot, King.
And I like that. I mean, he's your leading scorer. He has to be that guy for you.
James threw it away. Huff will get another crack at it if he wants. Instead defers to Jasper Floyd. Floyd had 6, Brendan Lorient had 8 in the first half to lead West Virginia on the scoring end. Foul off the ball, underneath against Cincinnati. It's on Chisel James, his second, and again, should be noted for Cincinnati, limited depth in the front court. Mustafa Cham is already out with an injury, and Halvin Zella, who is playing in his place, is on the bench with 4 fouls, so we'll have to see some smaller lineups here down the stretch for the Bearcats. Eagle staff driving, lost it out of bounds, last touch by Cincinnati.
And they're gonna need McKinley to be huge.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to have to step up in this second half.
McKinley, the redshirt freshman forward, got the start, just the second start of the season. No points in the first half for McKinley. He's guarding Harlan Obioha now on the defensive end. Facing Eagle staff. 5 on the shot clock for Jasper Floyd. Spinning out of harm's way, too strong. Baba Miller rips down the rebound. 10 points, 4 rebounds for Baba. 10-point advantage for Cincinnati. Miller drives, he's fouled.
And that right there can be a mismatch, especially if Obioha is having to guard Miller on the perimeter. Because Miller doesn't move like your typical big. Take a look at this. On this drive, I mean, Miller gets lower than Obioha and just does a good job of attacking that closeout. And because Miller moves almost like a guard, that's a tough matchup on the perimeter for Obioha.
Well, you can, if you're defending Miller, you can fade off of him when he's on the perimeter. He's just 3 for 33 from 3 this year, so force him to shoot a 3. If I'd rather have that if I'm West Virginia than him driving on me every time.
100%. That's what you have to do if you're Obioha. You have to back up and give him space, and if he hits a few, then you adjust, but make Baba Miller prove that he can knock down a 3-point jumper.
Struggled from that distance this year, but he has been fantastic since transferring over from FAU. He's the senior from Mallorca, Spain. He's averaging a double-double, 13 and 11 this year. He's got all the tools, maybe except for the outside shooting, to make him an NBA prospect.
Hey, if he could shoot the ball, he'd be a lottery pick easily. And, you know, he still might be a guy that we look up and see as a first-round pick because he, like you said, he has all the physical tools, and at his size, the things that he can do are extremely rare. But he has to be able to improve as a jump shooter. And I think that'll drive up his stock even more.
Lorient trying to push Baba Miller out of the way. Harlan Obioha on the offensive rebound. Puts it back up and in and draws the foul.
And Obioha has been a guy that's done a lot of good things, especially on that offensive glass. I mean, he's making the young bigs of Cincinnati work, and they're struggling.
Well, now we talked about Zella has 4 fouls. He's checking in with those 4 fouls. That's because Tyler McKinley's got 3. So we're running out of bodies if we're Cincinnati on the front court.
And that could be an issue. That could be a massive issue because Zella comes back in the game, and we saw what Obioha was able to do with Zella early on in the first half.
West Virginia, King, they've not knocked down the 3, so naturally 18 of their 22 points have come in the paint, and so I have to imagine that Obioha will be the target with Zella and those 4 fouls back out on the court. See if West Virginia can take advantage of some front court foul trouble for Cincinnati. 9-point advantage, 2 minutes into the second half. Eric Rothman, King McClure, your Fifth Third Arena in Cincinnati. Jalen Celestine, a little give and go to Baba Miller. Cincinnati got bailed out. That play was not going to work. West Virginia came in, committed the reach-in foul. It's the second on Honor Huff. West Virginia 14-8 on the season, 5-4 in conference play in Ross Hodges' first year as the head coach. Really important stretch of games right now for both of these teams. Trying to get some momentum before the Big 12 Conference Tournament. Celestine, quick trigger. It's good.
We call that right there the drift pass. Anytime a man drives corner, you have to relocate to that opposite corner when the man drives baseline. And he hits a drift pass. Good relocation right there by Celestine.
6-point for Celestine on his second made three-pointer of the game. Here Jenkins, freshman. Kick out, Eaglestaff. Still no three-pointers made for West Virginia. They're 0 for 10, and Eaglestaff, who's been 45% from three-point range in Big 12 play, has yet to score a bucket. Miller driving, dump off, Zella. Nope, he traveled.
He might have got nudged just a little bit, which caused the travel, but let's take another look at this. No, he traveled before the nudge.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good call right there. That's definitely a travel.
Turnover number 6 on Cincinnati. West Virginia, a very slow-tempoed team, but it's tough to be slow-tempoed, King, when you're down by 12 points with 17 minutes to go and your offense has only mustered 23 points. Turnaround, tough shot, Jenkins, no. Zella, even with those 4 fouls, fighting hard for the rebound. So James, baseline, mid-range jumper, Zella, offensive rebound. Cincinnati has won 3 straight games here at home, although they've lost 3 of 4 overall. Day Thomas gives Cincinnati their largest lead of the game. And West Virginia will take a timeout. They have just 3 points in the opening 4 minutes of this second half.
Day Thomas, you gotta make him use the screen, because if you don't, he can get to his midi, create separation, and give you a bucket.
On ESPN, take a look at the last 120 meetings between these two teams. 60 wins each, separated by just 5 points. Absolutely insane. We were talking to Wes Miller, who played at North Carolina. You asked him an interesting question earlier today. You said, King, was Caleb Wilson having the best freshman year ever at North Carolina? And Wes countered with his former teammate, Tyler Hansborough.
I thought that was a great answer. I mean, Psycho T was a problem. He was so good. Now, I remember those North Carolina teams. They truly, honestly made me fall in love with basketball.
Best rivalries in all of sports will be renewed on Saturday. We look forward to bringing it to you. Zone defense here. Excuse me, now Cincinnati thought they were showing a little zone defense, man-to-man instead. Moore going up, drawing the contact, and he'll go to the line. That might be foul number 5 on Halvin Zella. It is. Zella is fouled out here early. Can West Virginia make a charge? They're down by 12. Rebound, doing the splits midair, and absolutely freak athletically, and one of the best basketball players of all time. As we welcome you back to Fifth Third Arena, Eric Rothman, King McClure with you. West Virginia at the free throw line as Chance Moore had a chance to convert the three-point play. He does not. Cincinnati has led this entire way. Largest lead was 14. It's at a dozen right now. Tyler McKinley back into the game after Halvin Zella fouled out before the break. So James and Baba Miller, the leading scorers, with 10 and 12 respectively for Cincinnati. 4 to shoot. Miller in the double team. Deep 3 for Baba Miller. Flying in as a freshman, Amir Jenkins for the rebound.
And West Virginia wants that shot all day. They will take a step-back fadeaway 3 by Baba Miller.
He's now 3 for 34 from long range on the year. Eaglestaff just can't buy a bucket. Had 2 chances on that possession. He's now 0 for 6 from the floor. West Virginia retains.
And although he hasn't seen one go in, you love the fact that he's still being aggressive. I think that comes from success in the last 5 games. His confidence continues to grow. And I think that he'll finally see one go in, but he's not going to stop shooting because of the confidence in which he's gained recently.
20 points in 2 of his last 5 games. This has been Ice cold here tonight as West Virginia 0 for 10 from 3 and shooting just 34% from the floor. That's their first three-pointer of the game, and it's the first field goal for Honor Huff.
He's just such a tough shot maker right there. You can be all in his grill, it doesn't matter.
Huff leads all of college basketball in three-pointers made this year. That's his 132nd. As Miller got some space with the shoulder. Missed the elbow jumper. McKinley tracks down the offensive rebound. Day Thomas answers with a three for the Bearcats.
And right now, Eric, with DJ Thomas at that 5 spot, he's really a 4, only at 6'7". And Chance Moore playing that 4. It's going to be imperative that West Virginia blocks out because they're giving up a lot of size in that front court.
Good job by McKinley to keep that play alive for Cincinnati. Bearcats +2 on the glass in this game. It's their 7th offensive rebound. Moore on the baseline cut. Back to Huff. Back-to-back threes for Honor Huff.
And that's what happened with good. That's what happens with good shooters. They see one go in, and now all of a sudden they can see another one, and then one can turn to 3, and so on from there.
Huff has made 5.
That's good defense right there.
Yeah, Huff has made 5 or more threes in a game 7 times this year. Got his second to go on the last possession. James threw it away. Chance Moore and numbers for West Virginia. Moore got the lob, missed the lay-in, got it back and rejected out of bounds by McKinley.
Offense was coming at a premium in the first half, but now in the second, we're starting to see it fall from deep on both sides. And Honor Huff and Day Thomas, 2 guys shooting at an extremely high clip. Starting to heat up a little bit, and that was a great block right there by McKinley. The recovery to come out of nowhere.
Chance Moore just lost the handle on the alley-oop. Now Huff again from the near side. 3 in a row for Honor Huff.
Let him see one go in. Give him one clean look. My man is like a microwave, can heat up extremely quick.
James, the push-off. McKinley. 5 to shoot. James traveled. Honor Huff getting 3 threes in a row. I mentioned the stat I actually gave earlier, the 131 three-pointers. That was last year, his final year at Chattanooga. He led the country in three-point shooting. This year, he's 5th in the nation in three-point makes. And you talked about it. He'll just keep shooting until he finds the rhythm. And right now, Cincinnati has lost him a couple times down the floor.
And you see how when you make shots, your defense all of a sudden gets better? I mean, we've seen multiple possessions where they got stops. When you make shots, your defense automatically grows.
Huff. Oh my, Honor Huff drew the contact on the fly, off the glass and in.
He's putting on a one-man show right now. And this is the problem in which he poses. Because they're so concerned about his three-point shot, they climb up in him. But he has the ability and the speed to be able to blow by you, and as soon as he feels the contact, he just throws it up and gets an easy and one. That's a tough shot right there.
So Honor Huff has scored the last 11 points for West Virginia. And they are within 4. They're trailing by as many as 14 earlier in this second half. An 8-0 run for the Mountaineers as Baba Miller back into the ball game. McKinley and Jizzle James will take a seat for Cincinnati. Huff, 83% free throw shooter on the year, makes this a 3-point ball game, King McClure. Closest West Virginia has been since the score was 4-2. Under 12 minutes to go here in the second half. They're down by 3. Day Thomas. Pull up, straightaway 3. Missed everything. Well, the tides have turned, King.
A one-man run. Honor Huff is on an extreme heater.
Given that, West Virginia in a really good position right now. They've got some key wins. They knocked off Kansas earlier this year, and if they can make a run down the stretch here, who knows what happens come Big 12 tournament time.
He's a really great coach. I mean, everywhere he's gone, he's had success. And he plays this unique, unorthodox style. He wants to slow down the tempo. I mean, this West Virginia team is 361st out of 365 teams in adjusted tempo. They want to play slow. They want to limit possessions. And that's not what we see in today's day and age.
DJ Thomas on the offensive glass after the ball was batted around. A rare Honor Huff miss here in this second half. Adjusted tempo rankings that King was talking about, and another and one opportunity for Honor Huff. He doesn't play at a slow tempo, King.
But West Virginia is extremely intentional with their possessions, and right now, that's just a bad foul by Baba Miller. Honor Huff is in that flow state. Everything he throws up, probably going in almost.
13 straight points for Honor Huff, and a chance to tie it at the free throw line. Last time this game was tied, the score was 2-2. Cincinnati has led the entirety of this ball game. They led by as many as 14, and Honor Huff has single-handedly brought West Virginia back into it.
You know, Eric, there's not too many guys in this league who can just completely alter a game by their scoring like Honor Huff can.
He's had some hot games, he's had some cold games. You look in the last game out for West Virginia, the 10-point loss to Baylor. He was 1 for 13 from the three with just 5 points in that one. He was scoreless in the first half here tonight, but he started to heat up. 14 points here in the second half. West Virginia down by 1 after the missed free throw. Today, Thomas angling inside. Wes Miller telling us earlier today Cincinnati was going to have to gut it out if they wanted to win here tonight. A hand check foul up top with just 3 on the shot clock. It's against Chance Moore. That's his third. Cincinnati already with some foul trouble on their side of things. Halvin Zella fouled out. Tyler McKinley's got 3. He's on the floor. For West Virginia now, Moore picking up his third foul. And they'll bring in Brendan Lorient in Moore's absence as he goes to the bench. So James at the elbow. James has missed his last 8 from the floor. Obioha blocked by McKinley, got the ball back. Eaglestaff wanted it. First field goal of the game for Trayson Eaglestaff, and the first lead for West Virginia.
And that was all set up by Obioha. I mean, he missed the first layup, but it was able to get it right back. And he didn't try to go up. He located shooters and got a wide open tray right there by Eaglestaff. It's a great way to get your shooter involved.
14-0 run for the Mountaineers. Miller contested. Numbers for West Virginia. Eaglestaff in transition and a foul.
Let's take a look back at this Eaglestaff 3. Just automatic money when you allow him to get his feet set, and that's all he needs. He just needs one shot to go in, and now you put him at the free throw line. So let's see if this sequence right here can start to turn Eaglestaff up and get him going.
Started the game 0 for 6 from the floor. Misses the free throw. And a reminder, coming up tonight at 9 Eastern over on ESPN, a top 5 matchup as Flau'jae Johnson and 5th-ranked LSU take on Madison Booker and number 4 Texas in Austin. The game is also available on the ESPN app. Missing a pair of free throws is Eaglestaff, a 75% free throw shooter on the season. 2-point lead for the Mountaineers, 9.5 minutes to play. Cincinnati has only shot 3 free throws compared to West Virginia's 13. Jizzle James snaps a streak of 8 missed field goals. He's got 12 points.
And that right there is where he's at his best. Out of all the shots on the floor, when he gets to his mid-range pull-up, he's shooting that at a 40% clip. That is where he is the most efficient, in that mid-range area.
Celestine guarding Huff. Step back 3. Swatted into the hands of Celestine by Tyler McKinley. In transition, McKinley couldn't handle it. Threw it away. Play on, they say. Jenkins to Huff. Thought about it. Eagle staff in the corner. Now numbers for Cincinnati. Day Thomas will take it. Contact, no whistle. Thomas gets it back. Here comes Baba Miller, and he throws it away. Sloppy on both sides. Amir Jenkins, the lay-in. A 16-2 run for West Virginia.
And Eric, that was all set up by Honor Huff's ability to protect the rim. And yes, I said Honor Huff because his vertical contest was something that we do not see from guards. That was picture perfect. That was elite right there.
Day Thomas misses the 3. Cincinnati 5 for 17 from deep. Largest lead of the game for West Virginia. Knew it would be a low-scoring defensive affair. Got some fireworks here in the second half, and an offensive foul, an illegal screen against Harlan Obioha will send us to a break. We got a good one brewing. West Virginia on the road, up by 4.
As we celebrate UC basketball's 125th season, turn your eyes to the video.
West Virginia outscoring Cincinnati 24-12 here in the second half, and Honor Huff King has 14 of those 24 points for the Mountaineers.
He single-handedly put the team on his back. And it's been so impressive to watch. So I know during that timeout, one thing that Wes Miller emphasized was somebody else has to beat you. Honor Huff has gotten off to a great start. Make him be more of a facilitator. Limit his touches, and when he drives, make him see bodies.
16-2 run for West Virginia over the last 6 minutes of play. 7.5 minutes to go in regulation, the second meeting between these two teams this year. West Virginia won a thriller by 2 in Morgantown earlier in January. Jizzle James hounded by Jasper Floyd in the corner. 5 to shoot inside, and Baba Miller's fouled by Obioha. And now foul trouble for West Virginia's big man. Obioha has 4 fouls. So centers have had an issue on both sides of the ball with foul trouble today. Zella already fouling out for Cincinnati, and Obioha picks up his 4th foul. So Baba Miller to the free throw line. Got 12 points, 6 rebounds here in this ball game. Neither of these teams shoot free throws very well. Both under 70% from the free throw line as a team this year. As Obioha will take a break on the bench. Chance Moore back in for West Virginia. Moore 3 fouls of his own.
I like this right here. Keeping the ball in Honor Huff's hands. Allowing him to be the primary ball handler because he's shown us that he can make decisions and facilitate, but also score.
Day Thomas face guarding Huff. He drew the double team, found the open man. It's DJ Thomas with one black shoe and one white shoe, hits the elbow jumper.
And that's what I'm talking about right there. When you put two on the basketball, make this simple pocket pass, and then allow your big to be able to do whatever he wants to do with it, and we see DJ Thomas hit the mid-range pull-up.
Now it's Day Thomas's turn. Ball knocked around, pinballed out to midcourt. Celestine tracks it down for Cincinnati, who trails by 3. Tyler McKinley had good positioning on Honor Huff. Huff reached in and called for his 3rd foul.
His 3rd, team 6th.
And the Cincinnati crowd, King, that was raucous in the first half has become deathly silent because they have seen this Cincinnati team struggle to hold leads in games all season long.
A lot of times, the Cincinnati offense just gets into droughts, and offense becomes hard to come across.
Jizzle James took his time. The ball fake to the 3-pointer.
And that's what they needed right there. They need Jizzle James to be the guy who he was in the first 10 minutes of the first half.
He's now up to 15 points, leading all scorers, and ties it at 46. Huff found the open man. It's the lefty Jasper Floyd. Thomas and Celestine fighting for it. Held ball, possession arrow, points towards the Bearcats.
Let's take a look at this shot. Great relocation right there by Jizzle James. Taking his time. One dribble sidestep, and just automatic money.
James set a season high 17 points 2 games ago against Baylor. And he's creeping up on that now with 15 points on 6 of 14 shooting, 3 of 5 from 3. Celestine airmails it out of bounds. Celestine just 2 for 7 shooting in this ball game.
That's a rare air ball right there by a high-level shooter in Celestine.
Lorient. Baseline pass finds DJ Thomas. 5 to shoot. Huff tried to force it inside. And turnover number 12 on the Mountaineers. Tempo slowing down for both teams. Jizzle James found his spot, came up short, kept alive by Baba Miller. Trying to get Miller involved. The problem is he's catching it so far away from the basket.
And that's the problem. His strength is not necessarily there. So teams are able to force him out to the 3-point line on the post-up.
With 5 on the shot clock and nowhere to go, Baba Miller calls a timeout.
I like the timeout right there. That possession wasn't going anywhere.
4:30 to play. Back to where we started, all tied up between Cincinnati and West Virginia. Tola will be on the call immediately following our game here in Cincinnati. Eric Rothman, King McClure, back with you. 4:30 to go in the second half. Cincinnati took a timeout with 5 on the shot clock, so it'll be Jalen Celestine to inbound. Cincinnati led by as many as 14 earlier in the second half. Honor Huff and West Virginia came storming back to take the lead, now tied. Celestine out of the timeout, misses the 3. Tyler McKinley still active on the offensive glass, and he was fouled trying to get that rebound.
And within that possession, even before the timeout, I mean, we saw Baba Miller keep a play alive on the offensive glass. Right there, we see McKinley get the offensive rebound. I mean, with this smaller lineup that West Virginia is playing with DJ Thomas and Lorient at that 4-5, both of those guys are only about 6'8", 6'7", or 6'8". So they have to block out every possession. But right now, Cincinnati imposing their will on the offensive glass.
Cincinnati in the bonus. Tyler McKinley smiles as he banks one in from the free throw line.
Surprised you didn't say the bank is always open like majority of play-by-play guys do.
I think we've retired that one.
Thank God.
Tried to bank it in again, missed it. You know, that's the strategy in Pop-A-Shot, though. You bank it in.
I don't know. I'm trying to go all net.
That's why you stink at Pop-A-Shot. Cincinnati, 1-point lead. Asper Floyd. They left a man open in the corner. It's DJ Thomas to give West Virginia the lead once again.
And that's just a good decision right there by Jasper Floyd. I mean, you get to the lane, the big steps over. So what do? You look opposite. Good dime right there and good shot by Thomas.
West Virginia was 0 for 9 from 3 in the first half. They're 5 for 10 here in the second half. Celestine falling down, trying to draw a whistle. Not getting it. Cincinnati hasn't had a field goal in nearly 3 minutes. Honor Huff, tipped by Baba Miller. Good closeout defense, the second time he's blocked Huff in this game from 3.
And that's not the matchup you want to attack. If you're going to do anything right there, you got to blow right by him like he did earlier on. Not set up with a 3.
Under 10 on the shot clock now for Cincinnati. Day Thomas stopped on a dime and a missile into the crowd as he misses his intended target, Jizzle James.
Let's go back to this big 3 right here. McKinley goes over for the block, and Floyd just makes the right decision. Reading the floor is an area in which Jasper Floyd excels in.
And a collision between Huff and Day Thomas, and Thomas called for his second personal. Now West Virginia and Cincinnati both in the bonus. Cincinnati and Wes Miller, talked to him earlier today, King. Just the problem this year between wins and losses in the Big 12 has been closing out ball games. They were close against Houston. They were close against West Virginia. They were close against Central Florida. All 3 of those games they lost. And then in the non-conference, they had double-digit leads against Louisville and Georgia. Couldn't close out victories in those games either. A 14-point lead here in this one. If you're wondering, the last time West Virginia overcame a lead larger than 14 points to win a game, it was 2022 when they trailed by 17 against Kansas State. Another missed free throw, though, for usually the sure-handed Honor Huff, who's an 83% free throw shooter on the year. Just 2 for 5 from the free throw line in this one.
And right here, I think it's time for Jizzle James to be aggressive on the offensive side. You have to play through Jizzle James.
Instead, it's ISO ball with Baba Miller and a block as Brendan Lorient was trying to sell a charge. Instead, he's called for the personal.
And I don't love that right there by Lorient. I mean, in that possession, you have Baba Miller dribbling around, and you were honestly about to force up a bad shot. You weren't allowing him any free angles to the rim. You were in front. Forced Baba Miller to shoot a turnaround fadeaway over you instead of just flopping, and now all of a sudden you get him 2 free throws at the free throw line.
Just a 1-and-1 in the single bonus, the 8th foul on West Virginia. Cincinnati lost 3 of their last 4. Last one out was a blowout loss on the road against Houston. West Virginia coming off the loss against Baylor. So West Virginia has a really important stretch of games here if they want to try to make some noise down the stretch in the Big 12. On the road here against Cincinnati tonight, then at home against Texas Tech on Sunday. Fans getting back into it. They're on their feet. Bearcats trail by 1 with 2 minutes left to play. Hand off to Huff, lost it off of his hip for a second. Kick save. The ball will stay with West Virginia. 1:47 to go. Cincinnati's won 3 in a row here at Fifth Third Arena, including knocking off number 2 Iowa State. No matter the record, Cincinnati fans have come out in full force. Thomas straightaway 3, buries it.
That's a great pass right there by Huff. You put 2 on the basketball, just get rid of it. Good slip screen right there.
Miller in the corner. Celestine can't answer, it pops out. Timely threes by West Virginia got them through the first matchup between these two teams. Huff and Eaglestaff down the stretch hit 2 daggers, and tonight DJ Thomas hits one to put West Virginia up by 4, under a minute to go.
And right now Cincinnati going zone.
And a late whistle. Tyler McKinley thought he had a clean block, instead called for the personal. His 4th.
Let's go back to this Thomas 3. Just a good slip screen. Create space is what DJ Thomas did. And he just knocks it down. But Huff, once again, we started the game in the first half talking about Huff's ability to be able to make plays for his teammates. And when it matters the most, we see him doing the same thing. 6 assists tonight. That's high-level stuff right there.
12 points for DJ Thomas. Not necessarily an offensive monster this year, averaging just 6 points per game. But he has really hit some big shots down the stretch. And he talked about it, but Huff getting Thomas involved, Lorient involved, Jasper Floyd involved. And then you go on that 14-point run that Huff had on his own. You know, you start tallying it up. He's accounted for nearly every point West Virginia has had in this second half.
And that's the mark of a great player. When you're not scoring the ball, can you still impact the game? And Honor Huff is showing that he can do that. And he's shown us tonight.
Cincinnati needs one. They get one. A 3-pointer in the corner from Jizzle James. A timeout on the floor with 39.1 to go. Cincinnati gets the big bucket from Jizzle James.
Jizzle James on a pocket 3.
And then the Honor Huff show took over in the second half. He's got 15 points to lead West Virginia. And the Mountaineers, a 3-point lead with 39 seconds to go, and the ball, looking for the season sweep of Cincinnati.
And if you're Cincinnati, this is not a time where you have to foul. I mean, there's a 9-second difference, so you want to try to get a steal if you can. Maybe foul later on as you go later in the shot clock, but immediately you don't need to foul. Try to get a steal.
They got Eaglestaff caught in the corner. He's trapped. Back to Floyd. Haven't got it over the timeline yet. They do. Numbers for West Virginia. Lorient pulls it out. Under 25 seconds to go. And Day Thomas commits the foul, his 3rd. It'll be a 1-and-1 free throw opportunity for West Virginia.
And I think Wes Miller right there got upset at Day Thomas for fouling, because I don't think that's what Wes Miller wanted to do right there.
Back into the Cats. At the line for West Virginia, number 3, Honor Huff.
Honor Huff at the free throw line, normally very good at free throw shooter, 83% on the year. He's missed a couple here in this game already. It's been a one-man show, whether it's been points or assists here in the second half for Honor Huff. And now a 4-point lead for the Mountaineers.
He's definitely put the team on his back.
West Virginia looking for their 15th win of the year. They would go to 6-4 in conference play if they were to hold on to this lead. Another missed free throw.
You got to go quick. It could be a 2 or a 3, but you got to go quick.
Oh, Jizzle James, he lost it. just like the end of the first matchup between these two teams. And it leads to a Lorient transition dunk that all but seals it for the Mountaineers. Quick lay-in for Celestine and a full timeout for Wes Miller and the Bearcats. 7.4 to go. West Virginia trying to complete their biggest comeback since 2022. History repeating itself in the matchup between these two teams, King. First matchup, you had Huff and Eaglestaff with big threes down the stretch, and then Jizzle James committed the turnover in the final seconds. And then here in this one tonight, DJ Thomas hits the big three for West Virginia, and Jizzle James again, although he's been fantastic with 18 points leading the way for Cincinnati, commits a crucial turnover and gives West Virginia an extended lead, and now they're up by 4 with 7.4 to go. So West Virginia on the baseline inbound, 90 feet away. 9 fouls on Cincinnati, so if they commit one here, West Virginia will shoot 2 free throws, as majority of fans have headed out of Fifth Third Arena. Floyd running the baseline. They find Lorient. And Brendan Lorient will go to the free throw line to shoot 2 for West Virginia. I talked about it, King, a real crucial stretch here for West Virginia. If they can string together some wins, they've got a home game against Texas Tech. They go on the road against UCF and then home against Utah. Some games that if West Virginia can pull off some upsets, they're right in the mix.
And this win right here, if you pull it off, I mean, it gives you a level of confidence.
Yeah.
To know in the first half how bad you played, how much your offense struggled, and then in the second half to do the complete opposite and really start to find the flow, and defensively you're able to strap down. I mean, these type of wins, especially on the road, give teams confidence, especially when you are able to bounce back. It shows the resiliency in which your team is able to play with from the first half to the second. (59-54) West Virginia, as Celestine misses the 3, and the Mountaineers complete the season sweep of the Bearcats, and it's their largest comeback for a win since 2022. Cincinnati led by as many